Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to Angel Healing House. Lovely to have you along. Let's wait a little while, allow some people to join in. And while we're waiting for some people, welcome to the general weekly reading for this upcoming week of March 29th to April 4th. Can you believe we're going already into April? Oh my gosh, just so unbelievable. This year is absolutely flying. While we're waiting, I do want to remind everybody that this is going to be just a general reading. It can't possibly resonate for everyone, but there just might be some information that will give some people some clarity, possibly some direction on how we can use these energies so we can navigate our lives with greater clarity and greater focus and greater peace and hope, encouragement, love, forgiveness, and of course, compassion and kindness, and all of those wonderful things. So, I want to thank everyone who has made contributions to my free services. Either you have been listening to Angel Healing House Radio, my weekly program, which is now in its 10th year. I have done 480 weekly shows so far. That's on Blog Talk Radio every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And for the callers and the listeners, if you called into the show or even listened for my YouTubes, a big thank you, as I wrote in the chat, to all of those people who donated for my free services. If you would like to donate, there is my PayPal me at Angel Healing House account. I had several clients today, and one of these clients left me an absolutely beautiful testimonial. And afterwards, she felt like she had been liberated, like she had been freed. Because she said, wow, I can see my higher self very happy and dancing now, which was lovely. She writes, I did an Angel Healing House intuitive counseling session, an angel reading with Claire Candy, and I cannot even tell you how much it helped me. I honestly didn't know that certain things from my past were blocking me from receiving what I am truly deserving of. Claire helped me to address these things, and it felt like a huge weight was lifted, and I was able to let go and to finally forgive. She helped me to understand that people are contracted into our lives for a reason, and we're all here to learn and grow, and it's very important. She said gratitude for these people is really important. If anyone feels stuck or has feelings of anger, hurt, or anything that is preventing them from being happy, I would highly recommend speaking with Claire Candy. It will allow for the doors to open and to new chapters and endless possibilities for you. I can't thank you enough. That's from Ashley Sidore in Florida. If you need help in allowing your doors to open to new chapters and endless possibilities in your life, and perhaps these sessions could spark your own higher self to feel like finally dancing again, you can call me, Claire Candy Hough, at Angel Healing House on 831-277-3716. And remember, that is Pacific Standard Time, as we are here in beautiful Los Angeles, California. Or you can email me at Candy, C-A-N-D-Y, at angelhealinghouse.com, or you can always visit my website, which is Angel Healing House, and which is www.angelhealinghouse.com. So if you have any questions, or if you would like to enter into the discussion, please do drop your questions, and I will pull some cards afterwards if there's time. In I will answer your questions by pulling some cards. So do drop your questions into the chat. So without further ado, before we even touch any runes, any oracle, or any fairy cards, let's review the absolutely unbelievable, powerful energies that we are experiencing. So um, today, there's an amazing mix of energies that are going on. This past week, we welcomed in the equinox on March 20th, and it brought in fresh new beginnings. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, all the flowers are blooming and the buds are appearing on the trees again. It's just such an exciting time. This past week, we also welcomed in Aries season, which started on March 21st. And by the way, happy birthday to all those Aries people out there. And it not only was the start of Aries season, but it's the start of the new zodiacal wheel to start turning again. So that's a powerful portal whenever the new astrological wheel starts turning once again. So the equinox, start of Aries season, and many people do look at Aries, the start of Aries, as the new year. So it's bringing in inspiration and motivational energies. And Aries has the characteristics of fire, ambition, and forward movement. It is an incredible time to be optimistic and to fire up our dreams. Aries is bold and Aries is quick, and Aries always is ready to take action. We may really start to feel more passion and excitement to start saying yes to more of what will truly bring us fulfillment of. Now, this is let me just go here and see if I can find this. We have a new moon, sorry, not new moon, we have a full moon, a Libra full moon tonight on March 27th. And this is a time where we feel like we're finally ready to release something in our life so that we can bring in the new. Very exciting time. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it's a time to release. The Libra full moon is a time to release where we find the energy finally to clear away the past. This energy is amplified when we moved into the massive energetic portal of this new zodiacal year entering Aries season. Being in Libra, the full moon, and I'm a Libra, so I know this. Librans love balance. We love when things balance out. We look for ways to fix imbalances, and we're balancing out our past and the present. And it's giving us strength to surrender all of those things that no longer serve us. At the time of the full moon, Venus, Chiron, and the sun created a grand trine, bringing in harmony and protection, helping things to run more smoothly, and for there to be much more flow in our lives. So it's quite a heady time, this time that we find ourselves in. Up until now, since January, since really the beginning of January, it has felt for many like we have been in retrograde energies. It didn't matter what we did. Our project seemed to come to a standstill. Nothing was really popping in our lives. And now, my angelic family, the posse of angels, are saying that now as we move into April, this, along with all of these energies, these fiery, determined, very get up and go energies, they'll have us moving again, and we will feel like putting more work into our projects and our ventures. because it's inspiring hope when things will go more smoothly in our lives and we'll be moving forward. Coming up on March 26th, we experience the planet Mars, and that's conjuncting the North Node. Now, this is really important with Mars being that planet of determination, of action, and self assurance. The North Node traditionally links us with our destiny and our karma and things that are fated for us. Its combined energies is definitely heralding a time of very, very positive development. Now, the posse of angels are saying, get ready for your close up. Now, what do they mean by that? Because this combination of karma, destiny, and fate in the North Node, it often reflects a defining moment in a person's life, such as a moment when they experience fame, a particular period of recognition for some achievement that they have done, or even a certain level of notoriety. So it's really quite a karmic time, and it's a time really to allow ourselves to shine. And if you have been listening at all to my Angel Healing House blog talk radio shows, we have been encouraging and not urging, but really encouraging everyone to step up and to be the example of the new spiritual leaders on the planet. Because goodness knows, the planet needs you, and we are literally holding up the energetic frequency for the rest of the planet. So you don't have to be a spiritual, a healing practitioner in order to do that. Um, I spoke with some clients in the last month, and the posse of angels told them that and suggested to them for them to make fairy houses, and to encourage people to understand that angels and fairies and dragons and unicorns, they live in a realm where if our vibrational frequency is too low, we can't possibly perceive them. But in introducing these fairy houses to children, and oftentimes children know the presence of angels and fairies, and it gets programmed out of them, as they get older. But they're able to see and perceive it. So that was the way that the posse of angels suggested to this person to make these fairy houses so that they can be teaching people that fairies really do exist, and to work with them. And that elemental realm is so very important for the um, for the thriving of the plants and the flowers, and the trees and all the animals on the planet. So, whatever way, now there are some of my clients who are starting uh, broadcasts. They're starting radio platforms. They're doing their own podcasts. This is wonderful. There are others of my clients who have been inspired, absolutely inspired, to do a deck of oracle cards and writing a book along with it. Anything that you are led to do, that you are passionate about, because if there's one thing that is so important to fifth dimensional living, it's our joy and our excitement and our passion about doing something. And the universe, that's the language that the universe speaks in. It speaks in high vibrational frequency of joy, of light, of excitement, of enthusiasm, and passion. And we really can't try, we can try to deceive the universe and do jobs that we simply don't resonate with, or relationships that we feel are compromised or settling for less. But what that will do is that will diminish our vibrational frequency. And then it will affect what will appear and manifest in our realities. Now, along with this Libra full moon that we have tonight, and we're still under those equinox energies and the start on March 21st of the Aries season, we are going into a very, very encouraging, hopeful time as we move into April. Another thing about the Libra full moon I forgot to mention is that while it heightens for us to not fix, but balance all areas of our lives, it also heralds a time where we will be experiencing justice and fairness in our lives. Now, the Posse of Angels has shown me with many, many people how if things in the past did not work out, if we feel like we didn't get our fair shake of something, we might have worked on a project or provided a great deal of work and we didn't get any recognition for it. It's this time of fairness and balancing. Once again, the Posse of Angels were really quick to point out that this time as we go into April is balancing our past with our now present. The bright light of this full moon is also shining on relationships. On my Angel Healing House radio program, I've had several people over the last couple of weeks say that they just do not resonate with their partner anymore. What has happened is that their vibrational frequency started to rise. And their partner, it's not a superior thing. It's not being better than anybody else, but it's just a question of energy. When our energy starts to rise, and if this person chooses to be where they are, which is perfection for them, what will happen is that the energies become so disparate and it's a natural separation. Now, this could be in our romantic relationships, this is in our friendships, or with members of our family. And with the focus on friendships, don't forget that the most important relationship that we will ever have is the relationship that we have with ourselves. So it's really important for us to now take this time and to see where things need to balance out our lives. Now, some of those, for instances, is look at the work that you're doing. Does it seem like a compromise? Does it seem like it's not hitting your hot buttons? Does it seem like, you're settling for less? The Posse of Angels and I would certainly never tell anybody to leave their job. Is we need to have a roof over our heads and we need to eat and, put gas in our cars and all kinds of things like this. But if so, it might be time for you to look around. As I've frequently said, unless it's the last job on the planet, and you really do need to hold on to it, which my clients laugh and say, of course not. It's not the last job on the planet. And I say, well, then good, keep your job, but then start doing some research into the areas in which you feel are fair and just and balanced. You feel excited, you feel passionate, and you feel creative doing it. So these are really important things. So once again, if you are listening in and you have a question, I would love you to put it in the chat. If you would like to drop in the chat about how these energies are making you feel. Since there was a time there over the last 2 or 3 weeks where the energies were really heavy. They were making people feel tremendously tired, fatigued, exhausted. The Posse of Angels were saying that these energies were helping us to integrate our hearts and get our hearts to be more open and grounding our hearts in the fifth dimension. They're also saying that with going into Aries sign, it's going to help us tremendously. And it's going to bolster us being courageous and brave and bold. In Latin, the word for courage is core or core. It's Core. And core means heart. So we're going to be bolstered to lead with our heart. And another message that the Posse of Angels and I have been speaking about for the last couple of weeks is feel the fear, and do it anyway. Because on the other side of that is always great rewards for us, stepping forward, even though we felt the fear, and miracles, synchronicities, serendipity, and magic occur every time we follow our intuition and we step forward anyway. So let's go to the cards and the runes and see what is coming out for today. Well, when I went to the runes, the rune for the day came out, which is this one. And this rune is Uruz. Uruz. And Uruz is the rune of terminations and beginnings. Drawing Uruz indicates that the life you've been living has outgrown in some form. And boy, hasn't the message over the last couple of weeks or even month been about anticipating new beginnings starting in our lives. That form, whether it was a relationship or a career or something, or perhaps where we're living, many of us are going to be moving. The form that was that you got used to before is now past its use by date, and it has to be released so that new life can come into new form. A positive growth and change are on the horizon when Uruz comes. And there's a cycle of renewal starting. Well, perfect for Aries season, the start of the zodiacal wheel turning again, the start of the new year. The Posse of Angels are even saying, make some New Year's resolutions, just like you would on December 31st. Events, they're saying, occurring now may very well prompt you to undergo I'm not going to say that you're going to physically die, but undergo a death, a certain death within yourself. And since self-change is highlighted at this stage, remain mindful that the new form or your new life is always greater than the old. They're saying the old life that you lived was wonderful. There's nothing bad about that, but it's like a coat which has become too small for you because the light inside of you has grown so large that you need a new coat to wear now. Prepare then, they're saying, prepare for opportunity, which could be disguised as loss. They're showing me the tower card in tarot, which is often the card where everything must break down in order for the new to be presented. It could involve the loss of a relationship, a loss of a job or leaving a job, to which you have an emotional attachment to. And that emotional attachment is now feeling like it's being severed. This is a radical change. It's not only a radical change in the relationships outside of ourselves, but this is a radical change within ourselves, because each and every one of us who is awakened and conscious is becoming more and more of who we divinely are. Now, to have the courage to live in a brand new life, we must be willing to have the strength to let go of all those things that no longer serve us once again, and to gain a new perspective on our new lives. And we must do this in order for them to emerge. Uruts, the strength, the wild ox, puts us on notice that your soul and the universe support your new growth. How wonderful is that? So many of my clients are feeling, they're anticipating, like I am, they're anticipating this new on the horizon, and getting ready to step into those new roles. And we are no different from those flowers that are emerging after being in dormancy, just underneath the surface of that winter's chill, and the trees losing their buds. Well, now is a time. Now is a time to thrive and to put ourselves out there and to step into those very, very new beginnings. Let's go to our fairy cards, our wonderful fairy cards. And they have the Brian Froude's, the Fairies Oracle. And when I chose this one, this one was, and what did I mention before? I mentioned before the words bold, bravery, and courage. And this one came out, is the Singer of Courage, and it's an 8 number. 8 is the number of abundance. 8 is the number of prosperity. This abundant feeling inside of us that I might have some trepidation or I might have some fear, but I'm going to step forward anyway. And the Singer of Courage comes in. It's about bravery. It's about sublimation of our fears, and it's about our moral strength. When this card comes in, we need to transcend some of our fears and accept the gift of courage. I can do this. You know, I've often said on my Angel Healing House radio program that if God and the angels offer something to us, then we have all the wherewithal to do it. You know, we might not have done it before, and it might take us a little bit of time to get up to speed, to learn, you know, a new area or something, but they wouldn't offer it to us. It wouldn't be offered, or we wouldn't co-create to offer, for this offer to be shown to us or given to us if we didn't have all the wherewithal to do it. It might be a good thing to ask yourself, what can I do to open my heart to courage, so when I do feel some fear, I can follow through on what I want and what I need to do? Good question for us all. Ask another question, perhaps. When fear of any kind arises, the more space is allowed in the heart. One acknowledges the fear, while at the same time looking for whatever else besides the fear is also there. You know, so many things. It could be that feeling of not being worthy and deserving. You know, on one of my Angel Healing House radio programs, I said, you know, you could ask for what your heart desires and it be presented in front of you, but unless you're open to receive it, there's no way it's going to come into your life. So maybe there are things about deservability and worthiness and measuring up. Maybe there are fears about, but I'm not as good as other people who do this. There is no competition. There's just the illusion that you think there's competition, but we all are as different as an individual as snowflakes, and no two individuals are exactly the same. And we don't do whatever it is we are going to be stepping into. Nobody can do it the same way with your exact energies. And that's how unique and singular each one of us is. Let me see, it says here, the more we can open up space within ourselves, then we can liberate ourselves from any illusion of fear that we have. You know, I don't know if you follow me on Facebook, but I have a balcony buddy, I call him. His name is Sammy the Squirrel, and he's trained me to feed him organic roasted salted almonds. Mind you, he doesn't like the ones that are not salted. I really have spoiled him. But he came in the other day and he gives me such wonderful wisdom. You know, I tune in telepathically, and it was such a cute photo of him peeking in the window. And I said, Sammy, what do you have to tell us today? And he said the words fear. And he said, fear is just um, face, uh, face everything and then accept the rewards, which I love that, you know, by facing, okay, feel the fear, but step forward anyway. Step forward anyway, and then you face, and then you face everything, and then you can accept the rewards from it. So another example of courage, the courage it takes us to follow our dreams. Anybody who has ever followed a dream has gone beyond their fear. Anybody. Nobody gets an easy ride. And the reason that the posse of angels say that that has to happen is so that we will really appreciate our determination and our boldness in stepping up on our journey. Speaking about journeys, let's go to the hero's journey. This is The Dream Oracle by Kelly Sullivan Walden. And the card that came out for us with Uruts, Uruts is about endings and surrendering to those endings so that beginnings can happen, and the strength that it takes to do that. And the courage card, the singer of courage, that was the Brian Froud's fairy card. Well, look what turned up. This one, stand up and be recognized. It's a number 40 card. 4 is the number of security, foundation, our safety, stability. Those are all 4 numbers. And a lot of people think they get stability out of people in their lives, or they get stability out of where they live. But the greatest stability we have is the belief in ourselves, because everything can be taken away outside of ourselves. But when we have the stability to stand up and be recognized, then we are the inspiration that we have been looking for. Because of our courage and because of our bravery, we might find ourselves being thrust maybe into the spotlight. Maybe that's what they're talking about. Or getting some notoriety, getting recognition for our achievements. Remember, Mars conjuncting the North Node is all about bringing some notoriety and fame to what we've done. But remember, recognition is simply a code for resonance. It doesn't mean that you're better or superior than anybody else. It just means that what you've done resonates with people. It says that what you stand for rings a bell in people's hearts, and it awakens them. It inspires them and motivates them to then go out and step into the spotlight. The best part of this all is when we are an inspiration for others, we welcome them. We welcome them to join in our mission, in our quest. My mission is always to awaken people to their divine, eternal natures, for them to share unconditional love, forgiveness, compassion, kindness, generosity, acceptance, on this, and be unified on our beautiful planet, or for them to reach deep inside of themselves and find their own mission or their own real purpose for being here on planet Earth at this time. So, tremendous cards, all boding extraordinarily well for us to stand up, be recognized, find our strength, find the boldness and the courage and the bravery to step forth. The singer of courage was encouraging us there. And so when I went to my animal spirit cards, the card that jumped out was lion. Again, when we have the courage to boldly action what we are passionate about, it will inspire some other person. The lion is a master of the fire element, and the mascot of self-transformation. You know, the wand energy that we are in now, that Aries energy is fiery, is firing up something within us. Um, um, Lions don't waste any energy. They don't waste their resources, and they certainly don't waste their energy. You know, we watched, my husband Pete and I watched a YouTube series called The Lion Whisperer, and they only hunt for about 2 or 3 hours a day because it's too hot, and for most of the time they're resting and they're reserving. But when they do go after what they want, they have all the self-mastery and all the reserve to go after exactly what they want. So when in balance, the lion energy is at peace and it's at its full strength. But when you're out of balance with this lion energy, you can be withdrawn and become too serious. To bring ourselves back into balance, yes, we need to nurture and nourish ourselves. We need to find our pride, they're saying. And one of the things that is going to happen as we go into Aries season and more into the next 2 or 3 months is we are going to draw to ourselves our soul tribe. And our soul tribe is those that we're going to work with those people in collaboration and connect with them so that our projects and our ventures and the things that we love to do can even be greater because the sum of the parts is greater than the whole. So there we have it. It's that courage to be ourselves. They want me to pull another card in the, I haven't used these cards. And it's funny, everybody, because most of these decks, except for the runes and the tarot cards I'm going to be using, and the wisdom oracles, I haven't used the hero's journey. Certainly haven't used these animal spirit cards in months and months. And also this other deck is called the Destiny deck. It's actually called Chronicles of Destiny. It's a beautiful, beautiful set of cards, of oracle cards. And the Posse of Angels said, now that we're going into brand new energies, and it's the start of this new year, bring out those cards again. Fresh, new energies, which we haven't seen for quite some time here at Angel Healing House. So one more shuffle. Cut the deck. They wanted me to pull, besides the lion, they wanted me to pull one more and see what was going to come out. The next card coming, oh, isn't this interesting? We have the shark. I can't remember the last time shark came out. That is very interesting. Let me see here. Shark. Whoa, shark. Okay, it just flipped over. Fish, octopus, starfish, beaver, oyster, turtle. These are all water ones. Otter, dolphin. Okay, he's hiding. Whale must be in here somewhere. They're not done. Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. This is the shark. So the shark is about directness. How about this? It's about exposure. What did this card say? this card said, stand up and be recognized. I've been speaking about being in the spotlight, revealing yourself, revealing your authentic, true nature and your desire. Thank you, Mr. Sharky. Oh my gosh, the shark is only dangerous when we don't acknowledge it. This card indicates that something big needs to be exposed. And I can tell you that something is you. It's lurking in the depths. That something is lurking in the depths, and it's creating tension in you because the energies on the planet, they are like pushing you out into the spotlight, and you are going, oh, who am I to, step forward and to be seen? So shark energy takes over when we are hesitant to be authentic and honest, to be totally ourselves, or to say what we really want. To express ourselves. It may be tempting to continue to pretend that nothing is untoward here, but when shark energy is at play, we feel its presence circling around us and just urging us, yes, step out into that spotlight, urging you to express yourself. When in balance, shark energy is captivating. When we are at our authentic best, people lean forward. They want what we are speaking about. They get so energized by it. But when shark energy is out of balance, we are lurking in the depths, and we stop ourselves from expressing who we are, and we stop ourselves from putting ourselves out there. So no wonder they wanted me to choose another one from this Animal Spirit Guidebook. Thank you, Posse of Angels. I was all ready just to choose one, and you went, no, we have to choose another one. So thank you very much for doing that. If you want to ask a question, pop it in the chat. And also, if you are feeling these energies, what are you experiencing? What are you experiencing in your life? Let's go to the next deck of cards. We have the Wisdom of the Oracle. And in this deck, this one came out. Wasn't surprised that it was a number 5. It's a 55, and 5 is the number of change, but it's no place like home. And it says, authenticity, another being authentic, authenticity, coming home to ourselves, feeling at home, arriving at a place where you just fit in, being comfortable in your own skin. This card signals for all of us that ability to trust yourself and to feel at home in your skin is now beginning to solidify as you claim your dignity and your integrity and those aspects of yourself that no one can take away from you. You know who you are. And when you think about the road, the challenging road that each and every one of us who is a light worker, or is working in the light, or holding light for the planet, or putting our emphasis on those wonderful things of forgiveness, unconditional love, unity, kindness, generosity, and acceptance. When you think about all of that and how we have triumphed over our struggles and our challenges to be our authentic selves and to finally come home, we can all hold our heads up very high, not with pride, but instead we stand as the observer, seeing through the eyes of our soul. That's what we're doing now. We are taking away, and believe me, to get to this stage, many of us had to wear masks. And I'm not talking about the masks that we're forced to wear now, but we hid ourselves. We hid ourselves behind the facade of appearing to be something else and not expressing ourselves. But this puts us in a position of great power now as we step in to be authentic and feel like we're home. This card is saying you are safe in the house of spirit, of your spirit, and your connection to the higher realms. And so it's safe to be authentic, and it's safe to express yourself now. So beautiful, absolutely beautiful card there. All these cards are just very, very encouraging for each and every one of us. This card that came out, and they want me to read, let me just get my pendulum and ask them. I think they want me to read this one first, and then the next one. This one, the Chronicles of Destiny card. Don't know if you can see that. Beautiful cards. This one is called Mastery. And Mastery is a number, and that's 54, which is a 9. And 9 is the card of completion. Remember, back to our rune, the rune said we are going from terminations, endings, to beginnings now, which are forming. Mastery, integrating what you have learned by applying skills and talents, and they are saying you have graduated. In many respects, they're saying that you have the abilities that are required to perform now a certain task, a certain offer that you're going to be offered, and an opportunity will be given to you to step into a new career, to take on a particular situation. Because you've graduated. You've graduated and come home to yourself, like that wisdom of the oracle card said. And whether it's educational, formal, or experiential experience, you've graduated into self-mastery. And that's why, even if you feel some trepidation, even if you feel some fear, step forward anyway. And so the second card that came out along with that was, and I thought this was interesting, we went from a 54, which is a 9 card, to a 9 card. So 2 9s came out. And this one is accepting the quest. Accepting the quest is a time where it's going to feel like your new mission is going to be offered to you through an agreement, a formal commitment. A lot of times, this time as we're going into April, for many, there'll be a time where we could be signing contracts for new jobs, because many will step up to be new spiritual teachers on the planet in some sort of capacity, doing something. They're going to be signing contracts. Primarily, this is the card to indicate important agreements being made to use your self-mastery skills that you have an expertise in. Business one, like I said, career changes, opportunities, all of these things are there. Making formal commitment and pledging, it's like you're pledging an oath to somebody and taking up a new challenge in your life. So all of the cards are just so in sync with each other about our strength and our courage and our boldness. We've now become self-masters at something, and we're going to be stepping forward and utilized. Each one of us working for the light. It's not that we were forgotten by God. It's not that, we were passed over for anything. It's that we were waiting for the divine timing to then be utilized in our mission on planet Earth. Everyone who is awakened and conscious at this time, contracted to be here, and billions of souls wanted to be here at this time. Michelle, thank you so much, Candy. Wonderful messages this week. Oh, thank you, Michelle. That's so lovely of you. Thank you. If you have a question, put it in the chat, and I'd love to pull a card for you. So many of us have thought to ourselves, when is this going to happen? But we are put into the right place for us to hold space and bring forth these amazing gifts that we have in order to then step forward with our mission for the light. In many ways, the Posse of Angels are saying our mission hasn't really begun yet, but we had to clear and cleanse so much to get to this point. We had to really come home to ourselves, and we had to find our courage. And oh yeah, that's what they were saying. There were billions and trillions of souls in the world that wanted to be here at this time in the Earth's ascension, but they didn't have the courage. They simply didn't have the courage to step forward, be authentic, and express themselves. Now, we each have this inside of ourselves, so we were carefully chosen to be here, to be the example for others, that example of kindness, compassion, unconditional love, forgiveness, and acceptance and unity. Speak our minds for bring about and create a planet of light. So, a couple more shuffles and see what's coming out. Again, these are my cards. I love them. That's the Angel Healing House Tarot deck, and they're not quite ready for the public as yet, but I do love sharing them with you. Okay, let's cut the cards and see what's coming out. First card that's coming out for us, well, I'm not surprised, is the Four of Pentacles. There we have it. She's holding on to her wisdom so tight. And she has the animals around her. Look at that. She has the orangutan. The orangutan has a little baby on its head. I love that. And then, I designed these cards, and I worked with a wonderful artist over in Poland to breathe life into them. There's a jaguar in the tree, or is that a leopard? Leopard, jaguar, yes. It's a wildcat. And then we have the macaw. They are encouraging her to let go. Some people say let go and let God, but feel the fear and stop hanging on so tight. Again, the four is that stability, and we find the foundation, the stability inside. We find it in the wisdom that God placed in our soul. So once we do this, and once we really need to open ourselves up to spirit and say, I open myself up now to serve in the most perfect way, and let my eyes be open to it, and let me have the boldness and the courage to step forward. Then what comes in is the Ace of Wands. Look at that transformation. That's like that Uruts. We're going through that transformation of those completions to beginnings. And then it's like the hand of God comes out of nowhere and hands us that new wand to take us on a brand new path that leads us to that castle. And of course, the butterfly is transformation. The one is about leadership, and you are being called to step into that leadership role. The next card that we have coming out for us, it's another ace. We have the Ace of Swords. Now, this is our mental clarity. And what are they showing us here? They're showing us the eagles. Can't be any more succinct than that, clear than that. The bravery of the eagle, the courage, the boldness to be able to go after what we want. Once we do this, then what comes in is kaboom. Is the messages come in. Then the birds start the communication. And they're starting twittering, and people start talking, and the word gets out, and then things start coming back to us. Now, one of the things they want to remind us of is be careful what you wish for, because in these energies between this new moon, keep saying new moon, because I'm expecting the new to come in. This Libra full moon that we have today on March 27th, between this one and the new moon coming up, which I believe is it's in 2 weeks' time. So It may be even around the 6th or around there. I'll have to check that when the new moon is. That the energies are so strong for new beginnings that we could get a kaboom when we get offered several things coming in for us. And after being quiet for so long, it has us, taking us by surprise and saying, "Oh my gosh, I don't know which to go next." But uh, the advice that this posse of angels are giving us is to remain quiet, quiet our minds, connect with our hearts, and saying, "What does my intuition, your angels, what is my intuition telling me to accept and sign on for first?" And maybe you'll just have to prioritize your life a little bit before things settle down. But many people are going to have that kaboom kind of energy when things all start to manifest at once. And here we go with the Two of Pentacles. This is going to make us feel tippy. It's going to make us feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do first, and make us feel a little bit unsettled. But the two is about getting balance again. And of course, that Libra full moon is all about getting our life in balance once again. So what comes in is that the Lover's card. The Lover's card. Now, this is the card that they're saying all these relationships. If there's one thing that Libra is good at, it's harmonizing relationships. And they're saying that a lot of these destined soul mate relationships will be coming in, not just in romance, but in business as well, in order for us to then step forward into these new beginnings for us. And then the card that finishes off is the Sun. And this is the smiling inner child in us. The bluebird of happiness is there. And this is saying that it's going to illuminate our worlds pretty much like we can't even believe how wonderful this is going to be. But as I've said before, unless you surrender your old life in order to let go of those things that don't resonate with you anymore, to open up your hand, the new cannot be given to you. So look at your lives and see where you can attend to balancing your life, harmonizing things, harmonizing your relationships. Maybe some of those relationships have to go. Maybe they no longer serve you or no longer resonate with you. But it's very important for us to now balance all aspects of our lives. As I said to a client this morning, there is no longer anything that we can compromise and settle. I'm just getting shivers down my legs, that we can compromise and settle for less in our lives anymore. Because at a certain stage, we could compromise, a portion of our lives and not have it affect all other areas of our lives, but it no longer works like that. We have to be squeaky clean in each area of our life in order for us to live the most authentic life that we possibly can, and then have the fulfillment of our dreams turn up in our reality. They're saying with only 2 minutes we have left, I'll pull 3 more cards for this week and see what comes out. I know many people are celebrating the beautiful festival of Passover and saying happy Passover to each and every one of you. And then the upcoming Easter celebrations, which are all about renewal and rebirth and resurrection. And many of us are going to feel as we go into April that our lives are going to be resurrected. So 3 more cards, 1 more shuffle. I hope everyone has just the most incredible week coming up. We are getting warmer temperatures here in Southern California. I mean, we never get into real freezing temperatures, but it's so nice to see the flowers out again and experiencing those warmer spring days. So 1, 2, 3. Let's see what comes out. First card that's coming out for us is the Death card. Oh my gosh. Of course, this is the card of endings and beginnings. Just like Urut said, I might as well stop here, because, well, but they're saying take two more off the top. This is the Death card. It's the endings and new beginnings coming in. The eighth card is the Eight of Pentacles. This is the being remarkable card and being recognized for your craftsmanship, your skills, your talents, and your abilities. And that recognition, stand up and be recognized, stand up and step into the spotlight. The world is now waiting just for you. And the next card is the recognition card, the Six of Wands. You can't make this stuff up. This is the victory card. It's been a long, hard journey, they're saying, but you will reap the rewards. And the horses in the tarot are all about our personal power. So I hope that's been helpful for you for this week. If you would like an intuitive counseling session, an angel card reading, I do past life clearings and ancestral clearings. If you'd like to learn Reiki, there's only 3 more days. Let me see, 28, 29, 30, 31. 4 more days. 4 more days of special discounts on Reiki 1 and Reiki 2 with me, either learning in my Santa Monica office or online. Reiki 1 is usually $295, but it only until March 31st, 2021 is it discounted to $250. And also Reiki 2 is normally $500, but now it's only $395. And I've taught about 150 or 150 plus students, Reiki practitioners, master teachers around the world. And I love mentoring and guiding and supporting my wonderful Reiki students. If for any of those, and also my #1 Amazon international best-selling books, One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, which is the sequel to One True Home, and Angels of Faith. All of those are available on my website or on Amazon. Oh, and also on Audible as audiobooks. So go out, everyone, and fashion a beautiful life for yourself. Take care. I'm wishing you love and angel blessings, and I will speak to you again next week. Do tune in to Angel Healing House Radio, which airs on Blog Talk Radio every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Take care, everyone. Bye.